Peace and love, family. Yes, we are here today to bring you some serious information about your health, blood sugar, and how it affects your daily life. So, we're going to do some basic teaching and learning today. I'm going to be teaching, however, I'm always learning. So, please ask questions. Please add your input down below. Share your experience with us. I'm gonna share my you all, and the goal is for all of us to reach a better state of health, a better state of homeostasis, more balance. So, that being said, let me introduce myself first because I know that many of you may not know who I am. My name is Dr. Gabriel Hernandez L. I'm a naturopathic doctor, an acupuncture detoxification specialist, and I am trained in many modalities. I've been teaching medical Qigong and practicing medical Qigong for over 25 years now. That's one of my passions, one of my specialties. If you guys are interested in learning more about Qigong, medical Qigong, martial Qigong, please feel free to reach out to me. I would not try to put myself up as some grandmaster or anything. I do have the experience that I have, and I've had many amazing experiences. That being said, um, to give you an idea, I actually, when I was 19 years old and had recently entered into acupuncture school, acupuncture college, I had a serious accident at work where I almost severed my entire hand off. So it was cut about halfway through. And I won't belabor you with the point, but I ended up fast tracking and learning Qigong at that point and applying it. And I ended up rehabilitating a hand, my left hand specifically, that these three fingers did not move. They did not have any feeling. And I'll even show you there. You can see the where it was severed there. Let's see, it went halfway through. So yeah. Anyway, today we're going to deal with a specific health topic that affects many around the world, but especially many in the US. So I want to simplify a lot of this information so that it's not so mystical. Again, I'm not a medical doctor. I am a naturopathic doctor, um, an acupuncturist, and I do not claim to cure anything or anyone. I do not claim to treat any diseases or anything like that. What I can do is offer education. So, as we would say, typically this is for educational purposes. So, Do with that as you will. This is not medical advice in any way, shape, or form because I'm not a medical doctor. I'm only sharing my experiences with you as I have come to know them. And I welcome you to fact check the information for yourself. But I think you will see that the information that I share is quite easy to understand. So let's begin. All right, give me 1 second as everything loads up. Okay. So as we can see here, the question, excuse me, that we're asking, that we're going to be discussing, what is insulin resistance? Okay. As you can see there, I got my logo over my logo. I'll probably fix that in just a second, but let's deal with this. So when your cells don't respond normally to insulin, sugar stays in your blood instead of entering your cells for energy. I'm going to read that again because this is kind of the crux, right? And we want to understand this, and I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. So, what is insulin resistance? When your cells don't respond normally to insulin, sugar stays in your blood instead of entering your cells for energy. Right? So, your pancreas produces insulin, right? Glucose, sugar, it enters the bloodstream from your food. The insulin, it acts as the key that helps open the door. Okay. And if you look at the slide here, you can see insulin binding. Insulin binding to the cell receptor. That's very important. Okay. Insulin resistance. The cell doesn't respond properly. The door does not open. Glucose cannot enter the cell and remains in the blood. The result, higher blood sugar, higher insulin, and more stress on the pancreas. Okay. So as you can see down below, these are the types of insulin resistance. You have type 2 diabetes, right? Most common form, often linked to lifestyle and genetics. Then we have prediabetes. Blood sugar's elevated, but not high enough for diabetes. Then we have metabolic syndrome, a cluster of conditions that include the risk of heart disease and diabetes. Then we have genetic or secondary resistance. This can be influenced by genetics, age, hormones, medications, and medical conditions. you guys have any questions about any of that, please feel free to let me know. So, what happens at the cellular level? Insulin is the key that opens the door. When cells resist insulin, glucose cannot enter. Okay, so let's look at the insulin sensitive normal response. Okay, so you have here where the insulin binds, right? So the insulin key binds to the insulin receptor. You can see over on the left side, you can see that key if you need to understand what we're looking at here. And you can see the signal is sent. Okay, the signal is sent inside the cell. The GLUT4 moves. The transporters move to the cell membrane, right? Glucose enters. Glucose enters the cell and is used for energy. The result, glucose enters the cell and energy is made. Levels stay balanced. All right. Let's look at insulin resistant, impaired response. The insulin binds to the receptors. Weak signal, but the signal inside the cell is weak. GLUT4 doesn't move. Fewer GLUT4 transporters reach the membrane. Glucose stays out. Glucose cannot enter and builds up in the blood, as we discussed in the last slide. The result there, glucose stays in the blood, higher blood sugar, higher insulin, more stress on the pancreas. I think we're starting to see a little bit of a pattern develop. All right. As you can see just down below, high blood sugar, levels stay elevated, pancreas overworks, the pancreas produces more insulin. This causes chronic inflammation. This worsens the resistance. This causes prediabetes, a warning sign that change is needed. Okay, so remember that whenever it comes to your health, one of the biggest adages that if you want to take anything from this particular demonstration or any other is that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And again, we're not saying that we're curing anything, but it's an old saying. You know, you'll do better for yourself preventing things ahead of time than rather trying to figure it out when it's too late or when it's really late in the game. Let me say it like that. So then you have type 2 diabetes. Risk increases if this issue is not addressed. Okay, so what are we saying when we hear somebody say that? What does that mean exactly? That means you have to change your lifestyle. Okay. That means no more snacks. You know, and let me say this: you can snack, but you have to have smart snacks. Snacks that are going to benefit you, that are going to build you up and not tear you down, cause inflammation. Fruit, of course, is a great snack. And before I go too deep into the nutrition, I want to stay on track. And let me go to the next slide. So once I get into nutrition, that's kind of like my bag, and I don't want to get stuck there. So, what drives insulin resistance? and what improves it. Insulin resistance develops over time from a combination of factors. The good news, many of them are within your control. Yeah, that's right, family, in your control. So let's put your health back in your hands, the control back in your hands. What drives insulin resistance? Well, look at this red side over here because we want to see what's going on. Let's get to the root cause, right? And then we'll address the solutions. So, what drives insulin resistance? Excess visceral fat. Fat around organs releases inflammatory compounds that impair insulin signaling. Mm. So, you got to get those crunches in, family. Make me want to do something right now. All right. Highly processed foods and excess sugar, refined carbs, sugar, and seed oils cause blood sugar spikes and promote inflammation. So we got to watch that, y'all. Sugary foods and these different oils. You want to stick to, oils like grapeseed, oils like olive, oils like avocado, coconut. These are amazing oils. Okay. And we're finding that the other oils that are available, especially the hydrogenated oils, are very, very harmful to your physiology. So, next one is physical inactivity. Less muscle use means less glucose uptake by your cells. Stay active. Poor sleep and circadian disruption. Short or irregular sleep airs your hormones and raises blood sugar. Chronic stress. Elevated cortisol increases blood sugar and cravings while reducing insulin sensitivity. So, y'all, it's pretty simple. It's telling you that you need some sleep, you need to chill out, you need to work out, stop eating so much junk food, right? So, a few other contributing factors: genetics and family history, aging, hormones and imbalances like PCOS, menopause, certain medications, steroids, some blood pressure meds, chronic inflammation and hidden infections, nutrient deficiencies, and the like. So, what are we going to do about it? Notice it says practitioner formulated, so we have some things to help you. But first, we're going to talk about what you can do right now. What can you do right now? You can include or add more whole nutrient dense foods. Focus on vegetables, healthy fats, fiber, berries, legumes, and minerals, refined, and minimally refined carbs. Regular movement and resistance training build muscle, improve glucose uptake, and boost metabolism. Adequate sleep, aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep on a consistent schedule. Stress management, daily breathing, meditating, time in nature, and relaxation improve hormone balance. Healthy weight management, losing even 5 to 10% of body weight can significantly improve insulin sensitivity. You hear that? That's that's major right there. This is what I was talking about as far as the prevention. So make sure you guys take this information serious. You know, I'm going to keep on bringing more to you, of course, but if you can, take notes, especially if anything that I'm saying actually affects you or you're dealing with personally, or someone in your immediate family or someone you care about. So the last one here we have is supportive nutrients and botanical allies. Key nutrients and herbs can support healthy blood sugar and insulin function. Right? Let's slide to the next slide. So, this is actually one of my formulas, um, and I'm extremely proud of it. And I want to talk about it just a little bit so I can explain to you, like that last slide and the last part we talked about, it mentioned that there's certain nutrients and supplements and herbs that you can take. So this is a formulation I offer that is amazing and absolutely amazing. And again, I'm not making any medical claims here. This is just the historical and the scientific facts associated with these particular plants. So, within this powerful synergy of botanical and nutrients, clinically selected to support your healthy blood sugar and metabolism, you'll find a few of the following herbs: Gymnema sylvester. So, this is known as the sugar destroyer, traditionally used in Ayurveda for healthy glucose metabolism. Gymnemic acids may help reduce sugar absorption and sugar cravings. It targets sugar cravings, glucose absorption, and pancreatic support. And as you can see, it's called Glyco Modulator. Glyco just means sugar modulator. Of course, we're modulating it, we're balancing it out. Okay. We also have inside of there cinnamon bark, metabolic support spice. Polyphenols may enhance insulin signaling, supports glucose uptake and utilization, helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels already in range. All right. We also have bitter melon. Though those who know, but if you don't know, please do some more research into this particular plant. In fact, all of these plants, but especially this one. It contains compounds studied for healthy blood sugar and glucose utilization, traditionally used in Asian and African traditions for medicine and for just for food. So it targets glucose utilization, carbohydrate metabolism, and post meal glucose. Banaba leaf, or banaba, depending on your pronunciation. This is nature's corosolic acid source, rich in corosolic acid, studied for supporting healthy glucose uptake, may help support healthy blood sugar levels already in range. It targets glucose uptake, insulin function, and cellular metabolism. And a few other nutrients that is inside of our formula here is chromium, which supports normal macronutrient metabolism and insulin function. Magnesium, which is essential for over 300 enzymatic reactions, including glucose metabolism. So that's super important. Zinc, which plays a role in insulin synthesis and normal metabolic function. We also have alpha lipoic acid, which is a powerful antioxidant that supports insulin sensitivity and cellular energy production. Very important. L-taurine supports cellular hydration and insulin sensitivity and metabolic balance. It also contains white mulberry, which contains DNJ, which is a compound study for supporting carbohydrate metabolism and healthy glucose levels. It also contains Google extract, licorice root extract, cayenne, yarrow, and juniper berry. Okay. So that's one formula that you can use. But as you can see here, we actually have a reset protocol that you can get right from my website. And this has a few different formulas. It has the formula that we just spoke about. It also has our pancreatic support formula. Contains our turmeric, organic green superfoods, and the Infinity Plus. The Infinity Plus is very special. Has several mushroom, uh, medical mushrooms in it. It's very powerful, extremely powerful. So if you can get a consultation with me. You can reach out if you're interested, um, or if you're more interested in just getting it done yourself, you can do that as well. So um, either way, you can scan the QR code, or you can check the description um, and access to me and my products and the website and the classes, etc. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I am available. If you contact me, hold on one second. Okay, there we go. So yeah, if you contact me, what's the best way to contact me? Oh, anyway, you can contact me by phone. I do have a hotline where if you have any questions, you can call that number 24/7. Well, not call it, but text it. No one will answer it. But if you text your question about your health, um, I will respond back. So maybe not immediately, but I will respond back. Give me 48 hours to answer your question, and I will get back to you. Or again, like I said, you just click on that QR code right there, and that will take you to my site where you can either purchase the products that we covered today and or book a consultation with me directly. Either way, it's a win-win. Hope and pray that you have learned something today. I hope that I've imparted some information that kind of breaks it down and simplifies this whole blood sugar, diabetes situation from a holistic and a naturopathic perspective. Again, I want to thank you all for joining me for this particular lesson in this particular episode of High Vibrational Health. And we will continue to bring you more information like this. If you have any questions or you have any suggestions about types of episodes that we should do in the future, please let me know, and I'll be glad to put those together and put those out. Again, thank you so much, and peace and love.